Hello, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the Busy Mom Studio. And today I have the final flip through of the Christmas recipe journal. Boy, that went fast. So let's get to it. So I have made 3 signatures in here, and I think there's 5 papers in each 5 or 6 papers in each signature. So there's at least 60 sides, right? And I used baker's twine to bind it with. And here you'll see a cross on a chain, and we'll get to that. And a little bell up here. This is actually a page marker. And then at the bottom, I used each of the ties of the signatures to add these little red and green festive bells. So cute. Okay, so the cover is made out of a recycled poly bag like this that, that has bubble wrap on the inside. And then I have patchworked some material together on a piece of paper and then covered the poly bag with that. So let me open this up so you can see the full thing right there, the front and the back. And there's a beautiful spine. Okay, let's go through it. So inside here, I have this lovely little window pocket made out of an envelope. And you can see, here's the envelope. Folded the front over like that and just decorated it up. So inside here, we have some blank recipe cards. Aren't they cute? Yeah, I am using a kit by CarolynsMusings, and it's available in her Etsy shop right now. So each signature starts with a vellum sheet of a color that goes with the signature. So the first signature is main dishes, and it is blue. So this is a vellum sheet of blue. So up here I have a little paper clip, and I've tied all these little fancy festive little ties so it sticks up at the top. You can see that. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, and this is a removable pocket, and there is a paper in here you could write a note on, you know, last minute recipe additions, something like that, you know, a memory of, you know, a day spent with your children in the kitchen. This is a tipped in envelope. I tipped it in with some washi tape, and in the middle of that is another recipe card that you can write on, full size, front and back, has lines there. I had to put 2 paper clips on here because this is a very heavy pocket. Okay, on this side of the envelope, I put a little tuck spot with a another journaling card or recipe card, however you'd like to use it in this journal. And so this is backed with just a paper bag. So it's very thin, but it's sewn together. It's not going to come apart, and pretty durable. There you go. And there's another one of my little paper clips up there with a little ribbon on it. So also on the side, I have some paper clips with some material tied on them. So you have like 1, 2, 3, 4. Isn't that cute? I thought that was such a cute idea. Just adds color and flair to your book. So here is an empty recipe card that you can use to write your own recipe on it. And in here we have a little pocket that has a recipe on both sides. 2 different ones. Okay, and I stenciled a, oh, what do you call it? A mandala. It's this one right here. But I don't know if you can see it. You can probably see it there. There you go. But I didn't go out to the edges. I just did this center part, and it really looks like a snowflake kind of pattern. So nice and wintry for Christmas. You can see on both sides here. Yep. So here's another tack with an empty recipe card to sprinkle with kindness. And right here we have our little policy closure pocket with 2 more recipes in it. Well, actually there's 3. There's 2 on this card, and this one is a double. So there's 3 recipes in there. Recipe cards. And of course there's plenty of room if you want to pack your book up. This was a perfectly flat book before I started adding all the stuff to it. So seems I just can't make a regular book. I never know when to stop. Okay, so here is the middle of our first signature. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then the vellum. So yeah. So 5 and 8 signature. So that's 20 per signature. So 60 pages to write on. I didn't count the vellum. So then in this paper, so cute, the very cute kit from CarolynsMusings, and the reason why I chose this is because it does have some scriptures in it and some very uplifting sentiments on it. So over here I put a pocket with some little faux stamps and another recipe card. Imagine that. So I also put some of my fabric ruffles on some of the pages. Actually, I think that's the only fabric ruffle I put on. It's hard to find some blue material, but I did find some. I wanted to put a little bit of fabric throughout the book, and the blue section was very hard to find. But it is a Christmassy material, and I forgot to tell you, yes, there is lace on each one of the vellum strips as well, because you're coming up to that. So this is just coffee dyed paper, part of the kit here, and his little pocket. And this paper came from Angela Kerr, and one of her projects I was doing. You actually get enough to make 2 of these little recipe file. Well, I call it a recipe file because that's what she put it in hers, was recipes. So I put some recipes in here, but you actually get 2. You get a red one with the red plaid, and then you get a green one. And so the red plaid has these 3 children, and on the green you have these 2 children. So yeah, beautiful, beautiful images. And just write a note, make up your own recipe, whatever you want to put in there. So now we're on to the soups and salads, and this is also vellum, with a patterned vellum with a little bit of lace on the edge. And here is that page marker with the bells, a red and a green one. So you can mark your page in your recipe book when you're making something. And here's that scripture I was telling you about. So on each of the main pages, I think there's some sort of scripture. These came with the kit as well, and these are herbs, and I tied them all together with a bulb pen and just put this sparkly ribbon on the top of it. And each of the cards gives you kind kind of a health benefit of one of these herbs. So this one says cilantro, and it says it may help to lower your blood sugar and fight infections and promote heart, brain, skin, and digestive health. So things good to know, right? And you can make notes, maybe some of your favorite recipes that include those things on it. And then over here, we all have some of the same and some different ones, spices and herbs. So we have basil and cilantro, dill, and oregano. And those two are kind of covered up by this little decoration that she put on here, but you can read the basil and the cilantro. And it just tells you what it's used for, basically. So I'll read the cilantro again. So cilantro is the most common in Mexican and Asian dishes. The flavor is strong, so use sparingly. And it goes on to say things like that. So this is a separate piece of paper I added to the book here. It was something I found on the internet. It was in my stash on in my computer. So we have the green. Here we have a hidden paper clip. Very, very festive. I used, these actually came from, what is this one? Tracy Fox Creative, December Daily from 2022. So that's these, this one right here, the smaller version of it. And let's see, the other ones come, these here, bubbles, whatever, come from a Friday freebie from Happiness and Crafting by G. Kerr. So that is a Facebook group, and just so you know, if you're interested in that, that's where I got them. And they had 3 different sizes, I think. So they have this little tiny size, a medium size, and these are the large size on that freebie. Okay. So also inside of the envelope here is another one of those recipe cards that you can write on, full-size recipe card. And this went under here. These were a freebie. I'm not sure where I got these from. Sorry about that. I can't remember, but that was another freebie I got. And then you can see here that I did the same stenciling with the greenish color on the green papers. And some more paper I picked up somewhere, and then I stitched around the pages that were glued together because I didn't want them coming apart. So there's some stitching. If there's stitching on the paper, that means that they were glued together and it's not just a single page like this. So then I glued this down here. This came out of one of the kits I got. It was some of the ephemera. And there's the middle of the green section. Every middle has this large, recipe place. So, and you also have some recipe pages here. And of course, all the little cards that I added. This is another blank recipe card. And I just put 2 eyelets in and tied it with a little knot there. And there's the other side of the green. And I just, right here on this, I used some ribbon to make this pocket. And I just glued it on the 3 sides. And glued down some lace and stuck this little faux stamp on the top of it for a focal point. And this is just a little Christmas card. Go along with the theme, Christmas, This page is blank to add your own things. And this here is a baking chart that I Googled online to get for free. I thought it was really cute. It translates conversions. Well, it converts cups and into ounces and milliliters and Fahrenheit to Celsius and cups to grams and things like that. So good to have if you're translating things from Europe, I suppose. Okay, so here we are with the last section, and this is dessert, cookies, and candies. And it says, how sweet are thy words unto my taste, you sweeter than honey to my mouth. So another scripture verse on there. And this is similar to the policy closure one, but this was spread out more so that it just opened. It just opens. No policy closure needed. And the little pocket here, and then another one of those journaling cards or recipe cards backed with the paper bag. And the lines are from a stencil, the stencil here that the stencil. So there you go. Another recipe there tied with a sparkly little clip. Some rickrack down the side, and this page was glued together as well, so that's why there's stitching on the top and the bottom. This came with one of the other kits from Carolyn Musing. I think it's Recipes for Life. So I got that on her Etsy store as well. And this is just Christmas writing paper. Another sheet. This envelope here has one of those fabric ties on it, and inside is another blank recipe card. So here's the red section. I love this paper. This was a freebie. I'm not sure where. Some recipes. There's the center section again, and you can see the red and green little bells on the end. My computer had a mishap, and there was like a big ink blot right there, so I just chose to decorate it with a snippet here. So there's a couple pieces of fabric and something shiny, and then a button that I sewed it together with, and then with the baker's twine. There's some more Christmas paper. This was one sheet that I just cut in half, so there's 4 pieces. 2 folded in half there, and there's another one of those journaling cards. By the way, these are from Calico Cottage. Yes, and they are a freebie as well. There's a website, calicocottage.com, if you're interested in those. And this one says it's actually a recipe, a gingerbread cookie recipe. So very cute. And I just added this circle ephemera with a little bit of lace around it to make it pop. Yeah, there you can see the more of the stenciling of the faux snowflakes. This I made with all the offcuts from my recipe cards. If you noticed while I was showing the recipe cards, they had this red and white check like this. This was extra. They had an extra page in the kit. That kit is their Christmas recipe cards, and that is also from Carolyn Musing. And it comes, there's 2 different sets. So there's a set 1 and a set 2, and then add-ons for set 1 and set 2. Yeah, those were fun. So there's, you can see those little bubbles there. There's actually a little pocket here for whatever, maybe a little note card. I don't have it here, but you can see right here. So I made a little pocket with those offcuts. Yes, every little scrap I use. Okay, don't let anything go to waste. And here I just used an old safety pin to put this piece of lace on the top of that. This little topper is one of those circles that I cut down. Let's if I can find one real quick. I don't know if I have any left. I think I might have used them all. Yep. Oh, here it is. So this was a full circle, and I just folded the circle in half and cut these little wedges there. I made a pattern actually, and then I drew on the other circles that I made to cut them out. So makes a nice little tab. Oh, this is cute. This came in the Recipes for Life, and it was hangry. An adjective, a state of anger caused by lack of food. Yes, I get there sometimes. All right, and so here we have another policy closure with a recipe inside. Again, one of these freebie ones. I thought the graphics on here are so beautiful. There's the back of it. This paper underneath here is a chocolate baking sort of advertising paper. That is from Cara Brandon and her Christmas, I don't know if you want to call it a daily or whatever, but that's where that came from. And this is a real fun piece here. It comes out all the way to here. It has 3 recipe cards on it. So they are front and back. So this is a recipe and there's the back of it. This is a recipe and there's the back of that. And here's a recipe and there's the back of that one. So, and that folds up really nicely there. And I have another clip here with some material on there. And all this stuff came from one of the kits from CarolynsMusings, except for this little gingerbread person. I don't know where that came from, but that was, so I used it. I thought it was cute. And the card came from my stash. I think it is a Tracy Fox or a Cara Brandon thing. Anyway, I backed it with the same paper from the kit. And then I stuck in my favorite communion bread recipe because the person I'm giving this to loves my communion bread. She's a cook and she's been feeding our community every Sunday, like 100 people for a very long time now. And she's just a wonderful lady. So I wanted to bless her and make her something that she could pass on to her grandchildren. So this is another recipe card in a nice little pocket that I glued to the back of the journal. The little lace and a ribbon bow. And that's the end. I hope you enjoyed this little journey with me, and I'll be starting something new pretty quickly. You can bet on it. But if you like my content, like, subscribe, and please comment. I love to read your comments. They make my day. Have a blessed evening. Good night.